Well, hello everyone. That finished really quick, Eric.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still not ready. I was still sharing this out, so I'm a bit.
I had to show it to a friend too that wanted to see it, but I don't know if he'll get it.
Can I ask people in the chat to do us a really big favor? Can you share this out for us if you can? Don't feel that you have to because you don't, but yeah, it caught me unawares this time. But anyway, hello and welcome. Hello. Hope you all well. Hello to Rita, my sister from another mister is in the house. Hi, Rita. Nettie, lovely Nettie is there.
Hey, Nettie. Will do. Good.
So, Eric, how have you been?
Good.
Have you been up to a lot since we last saw you?
Yeah, I was making some more stuff. I made a whole bunch of stuff.
So we decided to do a show on some of the things that Eric's been doing and what is available to you to be able to purchase from Eric. Now, I can vouch for Eric's work. I have received some of his REM pods. They are absolutely fantastic. They look good. They are good, easy to use. Yep. And Eric tonight is going to explain all about what he's been doing, what he's been making. He'll take us through his website as well. So it's better to go directly to Eric if you can. You can message the page if you want to. If you or somebody you know would like some paranormal equipment, you can go through the page, or you can contact Eric directly, or you can do it through his website. So we'll put all the links in the chat for you to see what's there. You can contact him, go on his website, see what's available, or if you want something commissioned, speak to Eric and he may or may not be able to make it for you. But it's a conversation that you can have with Eric and he will cost it for you, tell you how much it will cost and if he's able to do it. Is that right, Eric?
Yes. To a point, there's some things that I can't make yet, but I'm going to be experimenting on my own, because that way if I screw up, that's my problem and my cost. You know what I mean?
I mean, I know that thing that I keep raving about it, but I commissioned you, or you made this thing for me. That's absolutely out of this world, and it's part of a set, if you like. It now becomes a set. Eric, before you get that, I don't know if it's packaged, but before you put it in the post, if you're able to, if you're not, don't worry, because I'll do it when you come here. Sign the bottom of it for me.
I won't be able to but when I get there, I will sign it for you.
Okay. Yes. So we know that it's a piece from Eric and only Eric. But yeah. So I'm really excited to talk about some of the stuff that Eric's been making. And we fully want to endorse this and get this out far and wide if we can. Eric, I'm going to throw it to you to see what you want to talk about first.
Well, I could show my page first.
Yes, let's do that.
Let me present.
Let me get my little thing here.
I know I can't see now, but there we go.
Okay, so this is Rest in Peace Paranormal.
Yes.
And we can see some of the things that you've got on there. Can you talk us through what we're looking at there, Eric, those first 4 items?
Since you can't call them the original name anymore, this is a REM device. Hold on, let me go back to this. This is a REM device. Most of these are. This is an EM pump, electric magnetic field pump that I've made. And this is my famous REM ball.
Look at that cute ghost.
Yeah, I got a few of those I can make. I made a original one for somebody. She sent me over a bunch of them, so I gotta send her the ghost back. By the way, I keep forgetting to do that. But
Yeah,
I have to do it when I get paid. I lowered most of mine. Here, I'll go off of this now. Or do you want to save that somehow?
so is that your website?
Yes, that is my eBay site. I will be doing a website soon because someone's going to help me do that. So,
Can you post that link from the website, the eBay site, to the chat so people can click on it?
I can probably do it. Hold on, let me see if I can do it.
So if they want something from eBay,
Let me go back to Facebook, see if I can do it right too.
I don't ask him for a lot, do I? I'm terrible to you, Eric.
Right. So I can copy the link.
So will you post, is this worldwide shipping? Will you post anywhere?
Yes, I will send it, but you pay extra for shipping over there. I've met some people that make stuff over there that are just as good as me. If you want something cheaper, I will put up their names later on. Let me figure out how to send. They made me do a store, so it's really hard to do now.
Oh, okay. But if we put Rest in Peace Paranormal in a search, it should come up, shouldn't it?
Yes, it should. Sure.
Oh, we get into that BMO creative.
I can do active. I can do. Why did it do it that way? You know what? I will share this one. Copy link.
I just literally put that in the chat. So BMO Creative, I'm just going to put this up here. For people that don't know, a REM pod, radiating electromagnetic, I can't say that word, magneticity pod, is a device used to detect disturbances in the electromagnetic field, and it's often used for ghost hunting. So the thoughts and the theories behind that is, if there is a bigger energy than us, because we are all energy, ghost, whatever you want to call it, apparition, spectre, whatever, if there is a disturbance, if they appear but we're not able to see them, apparently we can call them to come closer to the device and it will set the device off because it interferes with the radiating electromagnet
Yeah, I know what you mean.
field. Okay. So this thing will emit a field around the antenna. So most of these have got an antenna that sticks up that you saw there, and some don't, because Eric has some that don't.
Yeah, I have some that don't. Which are...
This one does. Yeah. And so when that antenna there will emit a frequency all the way around it. I don't know how far this frequency goes, but there is a frequency from that antenna that is emitted. That's powered by batteries. And when something comes in and distorts that frequency, it will set off an alarm. Normally alarms or beeps or flashes. Can you show us that one there?
Yeah, actually, I can turn that. Hold on, let me.
And it's supposed to notify you that there's been this disturbance, which you're supposed to react upon. So that's what this one's doing.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it does that. And I found out a neat little thing about the antennas. The higher it goes, and it doesn't go in a circle.
Oh, doesn't it?
No, it goes out sideways.
Oh, wow. That's interesting to know.
And the higher the
I always thought it was a circle.
No, I thought it was too until I started making them and testing them out. The higher the antenna goes, the further out you extend the field, and it
Yeah,
just goes sideways because I've gone in front of it really close to it. Don't set it
yeah.
off.
Oh
I've gone
wow.
to the side to open up the window, goes off for
Yeah,
some odd reason. So I know it goes sideways.
I have just seen that Jamie is in the chat.
Hey, Jamie.
Hi, Mr. Parker. Hope you're doing well. So that's what this REM, and thank you BMO for putting that in the chat and explaining it, because that's something people can always refer back to. That's really, really interesting, because people don't know what it stands for, what it does, or what it's supposed to mean. Now, if one of these REMs, oh, okay, that's all right, Jamie. So if one of these REMs are going off, the paranormal investigator is supposed to act on it. So I don't know if you could use it for yes no answers, but it's not hardened proof or hardened evidence.
Yeah,
You need to capture it on camera, on film, or have that mediumistic thing going on, or but even then that's not hardened proof, but it's supposed to be an indicator. And I think, like with all paranormal equipment, Eric, do you think that it's more of an aid than actual proof if it's used properly?
It's got to be used as an aid. I mean, you need other indicators to determine what's there.
So I've just got a cup of tea.
Yeah, I wish I had some soda, but I don't.
Yeah, so yeah, these things. I mean, all this paranormal equipment, Eric. I've noticed the costs spiraling and spiraling and spiraling, and it's getting to the stage where I think the paranormal investigator, the real investigators that want answers, are looking elsewhere now to help aid them, if you like. But
Yeah.
even if like you do all these ghost events with a lot of people and stuff, you'll still see people using this equipment, which is great, because like if you want to practice, experiment, these paranormal events, best places for it. But you've got to understand there is going to be a lot of what's the word? I want to say interference. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's in the house.
Yeah. I mean,
hope you're well, my lovely.
Well, I know I haven't tested it myself, but from what I hear from other people that have noticed it, that walkie-talkie set off REM pods. I know an EM pump, electromagnetic pump, won't set off a REM pod because I put mine right next to one. So I know they can work in conjunction by charging the air and then also getting whatever is coming through. So
I know that my EM pumps, I stopped using them because I found out that they did interfere. The ones I've got, they do interfere with my EMF detectors and EMF readers.
Yes, that they do.
Yeah. So if you don't know what an EMF detector is, it's a device that measures the electric magnetic fields which are emitted. You've got two types. You've got man-made and you have natural. Man-made, for example, would be if you go in a house, switch on a light in the walls, you've got electricity running through the wiring, if you like. So if you have the light switched on and you stand near the wall right next to the sockets, you might see some fluctuations. Or the classic one is a microwave. Switch a microwave on, put an EMF detector by it, and it goes right up.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and there's other appliances found in all good electrical stores that will do this, including telephones. Even if you have them on night mode or flight mode, not night mode, flight mode, they will still set off an EMF detector. So that's something to bear in mind. But I would urge people, just if you have one, you're new to this, play around with it, get to know your piece of equipment, and it will put you in good stead for your ghost hunting experience, if you like.
Now, obviously, if you're in an abandoned church or castle or whatever you're investigating outside, and you're not near it with your phone, if it goes off, then that's something there.
Well, you say that. There is this thing called natural EMF.
Yeah.
And not a lot of investigators are necessarily interested in natural EMF. And I know of a place here in the UK where natural EMF occurs. And every time I have been there and I've watched people, and EMF detectors are going off and they're all getting excited about it. Yeah, I don't tell them otherwise. I thought, no, I'm not going to take it away from them. But I've done the research over so many years for that place with the curator, and we know all about it. And it's just one of those things, it's up to them whether they want to investigate and go into it and delve into it further and become a proper researcher, or they just want to ghost hunt and have fun, which is fine too,
Yeah, I mean, whatever makes you happy. But if you really want to investigate, you got to make sure how your equipment works, what can set it off.
Look, Eric.
I know. Hey, Chantal.
Chantel's in the house. I'm hoping you're well.
Yeah.
And not too cold over here in the UK. I know she's come from hot climes to a miserable UK. But it's all right. It is what it is. Hi, Nicola. She's a sweetie, Nicola is. Hi, Roger from Kentucky. That's one place I want to go, Eric. Kentucky? We need to organise a Bigfoot expedition in Kentucky. There's lots to see and do in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I feel. Roger would know more. Roger would know more. Roger Moore, get it?
Roger Moore.
007. Sorry. I made it funny. So, Eric, we were talking about EMFs. Do you make EMF meters, or can you?
I can. I mean, you could just buy a cheap EMF meter if you really want to. I can put it in something else that I can do.
Yeah. And you know what? Some of the places for these EMF meters, they go on these websites, or they click on eBay and they put ghost hunting equipment or paranormal equipment. What they need to be putting in is EMF meter or electromagnetic meter or electrician's equipment.
Yeah.
And, if you're willing to spend a bit of time and search for these things, you can pick up some pretty good EMF meters.
Oh, yeah.
For a fraction of the price, if you spend the time looking. I think if you just are blindsided by paranormal and ghost hunting, that's when you're going to be hit by some really, really costly pieces of equipment that don't need to cost the earth. And, people like Eric, there are some people out there that make paranormal equipment that do it with a view of, I'll make a little bit of money on the side and I won't be too greedy, and I'll charge this. And you can get some really good items of paranormal equipment. Now, I'm quite excited. Oh, Bobby's on. Bobby, look. You in your cold Florida, you want to be here right now.
I gotta be in UK right now because I live in Wisconsin and it's below freezing here. So
I bet it's like t-shirt weather. I could go in my shorts, but he'll say, oh, it's really cold here.
No, actually, I think Florida, well, no, they have California's getting the wildfires, but
yeah. But no, Bobby, I hope you're doing well. You and your sweet, lovely, gorgeous wife, and everything's going good for you in Florida. I know that after seeing what Bobby did for Thanksgiving, that table, oh my God, I want to be at Bobby's for Thanksgiving.
What did he do for Thanksgiving?
I think he invited the whole street.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It looked amazing. Absolutely amazing. Treatment is going along good.
If you don't know what's inside an EM pump, this is what's inside an EM pump. Electro, motor, magnet.
Down. That's it, yeah.
That's just a huge one. I plan on making a great big one, but
that would blow your socks off.
Yeah. Oh no, I haven't, Sarah.
No, I haven't either, Sarah.
I've seen him on Facebook, or not Facebook, TikTok. Apparently,
I think touch wood, he'll be okay. And it's just been absolutely terrible what's happened out there in California. It's nothing new. It's been it happens all the time there, and as with Oregon. But I think the devastation this has caused, and this is going to be a global thing as well. I think we're not prepared as human beings, to be honest. But
yeah, you sure Rita laughing in the background because she read Robert Fulton's.
Are you talking about the vibrating kind? No, I think he's talking about that thing.
Yeah, the EM, the motor.
You didn't get it out of there, did you? No. Let's keep it clean after last week.
By hand.
Yeah, so Bobby, keep fighting that good fight, will you, please, for me, because our favourite people in Florida. Right, so hang on, we're missing some stuff out here. Roger says it's cold here in Eastern Kentucky. It's around 10 degrees Fahrenheit this morning.
Wow. Yeah, I think they got some snow too.
We're like -5.
Oh, yeah.
In the mornings here. It's been quite horrible. And some places in England have been even worse.
Okay, well, to be fair, I turned it back to Fahrenheit, so it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Let me go to, and London's at 46. And at Celsius, we are at -7.
Ooh.
Yep.
Whoa. Wow. So Sarah said, how did the event go with Richard Felix go, Vivi? It went really well. And I do have your card here. In fact, it's down here. I must get it in the post to you this week.
Yeah.
He didn't have any pictures of himself to sign, just books, and I've got him to sign. It is here. I know I've got it in the office because I looked at it the other day. So I'll try and get that out to you by Friday. But yes, it's okay. And I am going back to Derby Jail with a certain, I can't say too much, but I've got a certain, I'm calling him a celebrity, but he's not really, cast member that appears on the Alaskan Killer Bigfoot team. And we are going to do a daytime private ghost hunt at Derby Jail with Richard. But there won't be any public there because I think they'll all be at work.
Yeah.
But he wants to do a ghost hunt. So that's what we're going to do together. So it's quite exciting. Quite good stuff. So let's get back to this equipment. We've gone down a rabbit hole, Eric.
No, that's all right.
So I'm interested in showing people, especially if you're over here in the UK, a waterproof REM.
You know what? That's the two that I sold too.
Oh, was it? Have you got one similar that we could do?
I got one similar. No, Robert. This is going to look like that. So.
But the thing is with this thing, right? You could chuck it in water.
Yes, you can.
You can put it in a pond.
Yep. Or you can just leave it out in the rain. That's why I made
Yeah.
them. But yes, this is similar to that.
So it's very similar, this one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it doesn't have any antenna. The antenna's on the inside.
Right. So what makes this quite exciting is, I don't know about you in America, but over here, you hear a lot of stories like, oh, somebody drowned in that pond and that's now haunted. Somebody had an accident and their boat capsized and they drowned and that's now haunted. And there's no way really of investigating it properly, where you sit at the banks or you get on a boat and go on the lake.
Yeah.
Now we've got a REM pod that we can actually put on the lake.
Yep.
And it floats. Does it float? It's a floaty one, isn't it?
Yes, it does float. In fact, I have a video of them on TikTok. Oh, and then Facebook. Somebody, I know I have it on both places where I'm playing with them in the sink.
Yeah.
But the reason why I made them to begin with is because I noticed that everybody over there is like, oh, I have to bring my equipment. It's raining. You know, I'm like, no, come on. I want to see the show.
Hi, Debs.
Hey, Deb. But I'm like, you know what? I'm making one. I know they're expensive to ship over there. I did lower some of my prices for that reason. So
Bobby likes his tri-phase meter, or we call them tri-field meters. Same thing.
Yeah.
But what I find exciting with this REM pod, this water one, is you can put some string on it.
Yeah.
Chuck it in your pond or lake, whatever you want to look at. You're not going on the lake in a boat, so chuck your REM pod like a fisherman would. Not so far out that you can't see what's going on. You've got something else in your arsenal that you can use when you're in those kind of situations.
Now imagine this. I'm going to take the antenna off of this. This is not waterproof, but I will be making some that are. I changed them a little bit because I wanted an on-off button, but you don't have to. There is actually an on-off button on the inside.
Yeah.
But they have smaller ones that actually have little loops on them.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Hold up. Yeah.
That little loops on them that you can actually put a string or fishing line or whatever you want to them. Throw them out like you said.
That's really cool.
Or hang them from the ceiling.
That's another good idea. Listen, guys, you heard it here first.
Well, because I made this one into an original hanging one, and somebody's like, I really like the hanging one. Well, I'm like, well, I changed it already. I put an antenna, removable antenna on it, and
yeah. But I mean, when these things, like when you think out of the box with the things that you can do with them, and it's quite new. I'm really lucky that I have one. I'll tell you a secret. I have one of Eric's skull REM pods because I'm fascinated with skulls.
Which I will be making again. I can show that because I will be making them again at the end of this month. Because I'm buying a whole bunch.
If you want one, get in quick because these are so popular. Oh. Can't see his eyes flashing. There we go. His eyes flash. Look at that. How cool is that?
I'm going to add this option to it too. You can hook up a battery to it if you want to.
It's a really great piece of equipment, that. I love it.
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
I love that. I really do love that. And the other thing, can I talk about it? Or maybe. The yes-no meters.
Oh, yeah, I want to do those eventually. But like I said, I got to make it first to make sure it works the way I want it to before I even sell anything. I test all my stuff and make sure it works.
Yeah. So one side will go off for a yes and the other side will go off for a no. So that's another thing. But again, if you're holding this, it's a bit like the torch experiment. It's proven that the battery contact is what's causing this to expand and, you know, and the lights to go on and off. But again, it's like more needs to be investigated and more done with it. And if it is good and you do get results, then it's something that you could take forward and use more and more and more. And Ned said, a yes-no meter sounds good.
But with this yes-no meter, I'm adding a human voice for saying yes for one side and a human voice for saying no for the other side.
What would you think of that? Can you do one in female and one in male?
I could.
You have to find a nice accent, though.
Yeah, I'll do it in an English accent.
No, like an Italian accent.
Okay, I'll do it in
or a French one. Oui, oui. And no.
You know, it'd be a good idea to translate both of those into, well, yeah and nein are yes and no in German, so I could do that. You know, translate it into every different language, sell them around the world like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that could be another big hit. But as I say, it's getting to know your piece of equipment, understanding it, how it works, why it's working the way it is. And when you get hits, when you're out on investigation, and this is the investigator in me, when you are getting hits out on that investigation, do you have anything else that happens that backs up that claim? So when that meter was going off, I took photographs. Did I get a shadow? Did I see anything? Did I feel anything? Who was I with? Where were they? Did they feel anything or see anything? Because there's so much scope that goes along with this. I think you know, you can have fun as a ghost hunter, or you can take it that one stage further and keep going back to the place with the same pieces of equipment. Does it happen again and again and again, certain times a day, all that sort of thing?
Yeah. And I think that's part of what I'm going to do when I come over there. Not maybe the first year, but definitely when I live over there, you know, pick a few places that I go to constantly to investigate and track what's going on during the daytime, nighttime.
See, Bobby's talking about the battery can arch with the old flash thing like we all did. Do you know what? What I would find interesting is if you had lots of torches all in a row and them all going up and down and doing the same thing in unison. That to me would blow my head, because one torch, maybe two, going off sporadically. Yeah.
But most hunters did that. They sent four flashlights out, or torches, however you want to call them, and they picked which one they wanted to go on and off. Each different one went on and off the way it was supposed to when they asked the person or whoever they were talking to do it. So, like, I want you to set the the third torch off, whatever. And that was amazing.
It sounds like Norman Fahey, God rest his soul, great man, and a close friend of mine at Castle Rising in the dungeon.
Yeah.
He had a ghost hunting group in there, and I went along to help out Norman. And he made the ghost hunting group put all their EMF detectors on this, it's like a ledge, and they were all there in a line. And he made everyone step back. He started calling out, all the rest of it, and he asked the entity, because he was very interested in Norman, to walk in and to walk up to him. And honestly, as God is my witness, there was 20 people in there. You saw all the EMFs light up one by one. They hit red. I think there were the ones that everyone wants to use as a ghost hunter with the flashy lights. So you see them all go up to the highest point, to the highest milligauss, all in a line, like this thing was walking up towards Norman in response to him. And they all, like, you could hear them all whispering and chattering before it happened. When it happened, it went deadly silent.
Yeah.
And I looked at Norman, I said, oh yeah, your friend is here, and made a joke. And then the next thing you know, you saw these sparkles above Norman, which again, Ghost Hunters International, they recorded all that. You can go back and have a look at their episode on YouTube. But you'll see the sparkles and the flashes around Norman, because he thought that the castle was haunted, but they were interested in him. Yeah. And they proved that it was with Norman. Yeah, it was fascinating to see it.
So do you think it was attached to him?
Not attached to him, but they were of the castle. Okay. But he had some amazing things happen. He had a ports came in, like little presents for him. One was an iron nail, a very old iron nail, was on the steps of the castle for him. Another time he got a bunch of white roses. Was they a bunch? There were white roses just left on the steps for him that appeared from nowhere. And the other thing was, he used to lock the inner door. It was closed, locked. Yeah. The downstairs door closed, locked. And then when he'd come in the morning, unlock the main door, the one up the top of the stairs would always be wide open. Now, you need keys to open them.
Wow.
And nobody had been there. So, yeah, some really strange and weird goings on. I could talk about that place for hours, but I won't.
Oh, I know. I want to go see it. I wish he was still alive so I could have met him. That's what only thing that made me upset, not to get to see him. Are we just doing our Facebook and YouTube? Because I'm going to vape, just so everybody knows.
So Annette says, when you do this yes-no device, can you do one in a Manchester accent?
I suppose if I can find somebody to do the voice. Is she offering the voice for it?
Get Nettie to do it.
Yeah, is she offering the voice for it?
Hi, Noreen.
Noreen.
What's Bobby? You can use me as a ghost lure in a couple of months. I won't need any batteries, but maybe some coffee.
Yeah.
Are you coming here, Bobby?
It must be.
Do you know what? I am going to make it to Florida somehow, some way, and I'm going to stay in Bobby's house with Bobby and Mrs. Bobby.
Oh, wow.
I am. I've seen his cooking. I've seen what he does there.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay at Bobby's. No, I know, Debs. Yeah.
I didn't know the guy personally, but he sounds amazing. So,
his lectures, when I hosted, when I did paranormal conventions, me and Sean Cadman, we teamed up together and we thought, right, we'll do this paranormal convention. There isn't much going on in the UK. So we were one of the very few that first set up. Wow. And we had Norman. I said, Norman, will you come and talk on? He said, of course I will. And then I picked him up. I'll never forget it. I drove him there and I said to him, right, have you got your speech, your lecture all ready to go? Do you need me to plug anything in? And no. He said, I'm going to start at the end. I'm going to start at the end and end with the start.
Right.
Oh, what the bloody hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so when he started, he said, and I'll never forget this, he thanked everybody for coming and did anybody have any questions? That's how we started.
That's
because
cool.
A lot of people that didn't know Norman put their hand up. What is it you do? How do you do? And then it all went from there. And that's how his lectures would go. But do you know what? They were absolutely fantastic. It was so funny. Nettie's going to be the Manchester accent for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Bobby said I can stay at his house.
Cool.
So Bobby's coming over to the UK, Scotland and Ireland before the rest of Europe. Yes, Bobby, wow. You can come and stay here. It's not anything special here. This house is haunted. that you're always welcome. Come and visit.
That's one thing I actually want to do if you let me. Is figure out what's going on there. Because you said
house,
I to talk to you, so
come to my house. Well, you'll be staying here anyway, so
right.
they'll either show themselves or they won't. And also the grounds.
Yep.
But yeah, my where I live is quite interesting. There's a few castles. There's some ruins. We got priories. We got churches. We got museums, and of course, where I live, we've got Oliver Cromwell.
Yeah. Are any of those churches for sale?
The churches?
Yeah.
There was one for sale in my village where I live. Okay. That's been converted now. And that went up for sale, and I think somebody bought it, but the conversions already happened, and it's a beautiful little thing. Not that old. The main church, the original church that was there, dates back to 927 AD.
Wow, see, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so that's very old. And then there was a fire and they've rebuilt the church, but some of the parts of the original church are still there.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. I do have to plug you in because my battery's decided to run low. Overuse of the old laptop, eh? Mm. Yeah, Bobby's coming over here.
Cool.
Not as lovely as Florida, so don't get very excited.
Man, but it's better than Wisconsin, so.
Is it? I want to go to Wisconsin as well. Yep. I want to go everywhere. But Kentucky's definitely on my hit list as well. Yeah. Purely for the Bigfoot thing, really.
Well, that and plus you want to go see oh, come on, I know. The battlefield.
Oh, Gettysburg.
Yes, Gettysburg.
Do you know what? Gettysburg, everyone raves about Gettysburg. Mm. I would like to, moreover Gettysburg, go and visit Wounded Knee.
Yeah. Somebody's going to be doing that.
Well, that would cool. Be the place that I would like to go. Because I have not when I say I have a connection, I sort of have a connection. My spirit guide is not American Indian. Mm-hmm. He's more Canadian Indian, but confused for American Indian. But anyway, go figure. But we've had long conversations about Wounded Knee and what happened there and the atrocities there for the Indigenous that died. And so that place for me would be one of the places that I would like to go. And I was really lucky, or maybe unlucky as some people look at it. I did part of the long walk. Mm-hmm. So the long walk would have been from Arizona. It started in California, Arizona, where they were made to walk. And a lot of Native American people died on this long walk, and I managed to do a little bit of it. So, it's you get really into this kind of conversation, but you know what? It's boring. You don't want to hear that.
No, that's cool, actually.
Do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean,
passport say, hey.
A friend of mine did part of the Oregon Trail.
Yes.
Where he was, and it was really exciting for him. So,
do you know, when I was in Oregon, 3 years ago now? Mm-hmm. I can't remember. William will have to tell me. We did some of the Oregon Trail, and we walked up to a graveyard, and it was a fenced, gated graveyard where some really important people were interred. But this graveyard is supposed to be so haunted. For me, there was a part that we sort of walked past to get to this graveyard on the Oregon Trail. Mm. And I stood there thinking, oh, this is not right. This is not right. And William was saying, what's wrong with you? I said, forget the graveyard, it's here. He's going, what here? What's here? I said, bodies that are buried here. And I didn't know what I was talking about at the time. I said, it's here. This is the spot. And what I was talking about with not realizing was 5 Native American Indians were accused of killing some doctors. This is back in history.
Yeah.
The white man came, they got sick. The doctors were then trying to treat them and give them antibiotics. They still died. 5 people. Oh, the doctors got murdered because they thought that the doctors were trying to kill the native people. And then they caught 5 people, were accused of killing the doctor, and then were hung. But it's really weird because they were then pardoned. It turned out it wasn't these 5 people that did it. They were used as an example, and they were pardoned all these years later. And they didn't know the spot, what happened to the bodies, or what happened to them. And I kept saying to him, this is the place, that's it, the bodies are here like this. I had no idea. I found all the history out later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a fascinating place for history. I mean, I hear so many Americans tell us, oh, well, our history's not like yours. We haven't got, our history's not as old as yours. And this, no, your history is very old. Your history is there. You just don't see it. Because you're not looking for it. You know, the history in America, I think, is a fascinating one. I mean, even to the point where the Vikings were there before Christopher Columbus even. And there's a lot of conversation and controversy around that. But if you go looking, you might be surprised what you find.
And yes, Noreen, that is legitimate knocking. They're working on my house yet, so.
Oh, the Trail of Tears. Trail of Tears. Yeah. Trail of Tears. So at Gettysburg, you literally feel the energy there. I'm not sensitive, but that energy is so strong.
Yes.
You don't have to be. Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'd like to go to the White House. Do you know why the White House is white?
I've heard the story before, but I keep forgetting because it's not.
The British set fire to it.
Oh, yeah.
And they repaired it, and then they had to paint it white to hide the scorch marks.
Yeah.
So that's why your White House is white.
You're welcome, Lorraine. Yes, you weren't hearing things. They're working on my house, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, you've got history right there. The White House, the Civil War, the British coming over. What did they do? You know, there is just so much of it. It doesn't have to be all glamorous, you know. Just start delving, and you'll find the layers, and you'll find the history, and it's whether you choose to connect with it or not. And use some of Eric's equipment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, did she? She's a good girl, is Kat. Oh, my house. Oh, it tends to be. This is the thing in this house. If you're left here on your own, it goes mental sometimes. And only last weekend, now Andy doesn't believe. My husband's a non-believer, total skeptic. And I was upstairs, just working away upstairs, doing my own private thing, minding my own business, you know, just doing what women do, washing, cooking, you know, just putting things away. And he kept running up the stairs saying, what do you want? It's like, I didn't call you. Oh, okay. Went back downstairs again. And it happened 5 times. He said, no, I definitely heard you calling me. I said, I've not said a word. I've not even, like sometimes if television's
Yeah.
on, you'd sing, or the radio. Nothing was on. I was just there doing my thing, and he ran upstairs 5 times. Now, that happened last weekend with him. A friend of mine stayed, and she was just putting on her makeup in the morning. I was cooking breakfast downstairs, and she said she heard my voice right next to her saying, "It's ready." I hadn't even taken it out of the thing.
Yeah.
"Come downstairs for breakfast. It's ready," in my voice.
Wow.
So, yeah, there seems to be some kind of mimicry going on. I haven't heard it. I've heard a man's voice right next to me and live on air, which gets a bit freaky, but.
Well, see, that makes me wonder the second part of that. Would that happen to in a male's voice, or in Andy's voice to you, eventually, or has it?
Andy got into bed next to me when I was fast asleep. I had my back turned, Andy got into bed some hours after me, and I'm in a deep sleep. And he got into bed thinking, "Oh, it's getting late. I better get into bed. I've got to be up tomorrow." And as he got in, he just turned to get himself comfortable. Now he's not even shutting his eyes at this point. And right near his ear, he heard in a male voice, "Who the F are you?"
Really?
He said it freaked him. I said, "Yeah, but you don't believe in any of that." He goes, "No, I definitely heard that, and I wasn't asleep." He said, "At first, I thought it was you, and I'm fast asleep." No. But yeah, some strange things happen here. It's quite funny. Nothing bad, but yeah. Burn it down.
Yep.
I bet you wish you could burn it down now.
No, I will not say that, because then some men will come to my door saying,
Yeah, we could burn the 10 Downing Street down right now. It's getting bad over here. But I think that's right across the world. It's just politics.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about politics, and I don't get involved.
Well, I think what my fascination with the UK is that apparently in Scotland itself, I'm connected there. I've been told this many times by many different people without even knowing who I am or that I even want to go. You know what I mean?
I think more Norway.
Yeah, I think so too. But
Bobby's asking me, how old is your home? Well, the house itself is only 25 years old, but my house is built on top of a Roman villa.
Yeah. What if they decide to do excavating there? Then what?
If they're what, sorry?
If they decided to do excavating for the Roman villa?
Well, when the builders, it's quite a funny story I found out. I wanted to find the builders, but I'm only going to get blank walls and be told no. But apparently when they built the actual site my house is on, the actual ground, when they were digging the foundations, they found a nice, beautiful coloured Roman mosaic intact. Wow. And this was from somebody told me who was there that saw it, that was working on the build site. And because they had a deadline to complete so many houses in a certain amount of time, and it was just getting to the last bits, if you like, they hit this. So what the builders did was they dug up the mosaic, shoved it in boxes, and one of them carried the boxes away and took them home.
Oh, wow.
And got rid of them just to get this finished. It's ever so naughty, but I can understand why they do it, because in this area we have a lot of Roman presence, and I live in we pronounce it Boudica, or Boadicea. Her last stronghold was here. She fought the Romans. This was her home, this village. So yeah, there's a lot of Roman stuff that's found around here or dug up around here. Also, Iceni tribe
Mm.
is dug up and found around here as well. But yeah, this is a very, very strange place where I live. And there were some excavations that were done because they found the remains of an elephant.
Oh, wow.
An elephant and a tiger that shouldn't have been here. And we don't know why. And to this day, we still don't know why. It's not somebody's pet that they buried. And there's been no zoo here. But they're putting it back to, or they've connected it to the Romans bringing it over for whatever reasons. Who knows what the Romans were doing? They were all crazy. But yeah, if you it's quite open here. It's not like America in any way, shape, or form. We've got a lot of open space, but we have a lot of farmland here, which is left. But sometimes the farmers hit stuff when they're digging the fields. We found a stone coffin with a skeleton inside. The first one found in this country, and that's in the local museum. You can go and see it, and the skeleton's still there.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a strange place living here, to be honest. Noreen says the world's gone to hell in a handcart.
Well, like last night when Eddie and Kat was on, she was talking about that. I'm like, yep, the Earth is going to hell in a handbasket, and I'm taking everybody with.
Oh, look, it's the Villa. Look, you're not talking about Aston Villa, because this is an Arsenal supporter. Just be told. I'm talking about what you would call soccer, British soccer.
Right. Yeah,
the entirety of the UK is ancient, so homes upon homes. Do you know what? You say this, if you ever get the opportunity, go to Cairo and get your taxi driver, and he takes you somewhere. Ask him if you can go by way of the City of the Dead. The City of the Dead in Cairo literally is a huge graveyard. And there's a story with this. It's quite funny. The poor people, because when they put the graveyard in, they put the dead in, and there's like a shack thing built on top, and the homeless had moved in, and because there was so many that moved in, there was 3,000 people, like shacks, either over the graves, or they built them on graves, and because there was so many of them, they had to put running water and electricity in there. The local government had to give them electricity and water. So it's now nicknamed the City of the Dead. And it's literally where these homeless people are living on top of graves. And I thought to myself, do you know what? That's blimmin' brilliant. That is. That's forcing local government to look after their, the lesser able people that could house themselves. So there are some good people in the world still. Nettie's saying, yes, we're getting to hell on the train.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know what, Nettie? I think we're already living in hell. We always have been. There's a place in America called hell, isn't there, Eric?
Yep. I don't know.
And apparently there's more than one place called hell.
Yeah, I don't know, but
well, we'll have to do a trip to hell, just because we can.
Midnight.
Nettie, do you fancy a trip to hell? Like girls' trip, get on a plane, have a holiday. Let's go to hell. There might not be anything there, but if there's a bar, a pub, and a TV, we'll be all right.
There's hell, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
We could go and do a few ghost hunts in Minnesota, and Nettie. Is it warm? Will we get a tan?
Minnesota? No. Minnesota's not that far away from me. It's colder.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nettie, that's something we could arrange. A trip to hell and a ghost hunt in hell, so we can investigate it.
Mm.
That's something we could think about, isn't it? Yeah? Noreen, you're welcome to come with us. We'll go to hell together. I've been to the one in Germany called Hell. Wow. Hey, Germany, that's closer to home. Go to Scotland. We had 11 degs today. Degs? Is that a Scottish phrase?
Must be.
Rob, what does that mean? Go to Scotland. We had 11 degs today. Deaths. Is it deaths? Talking of deaths.
What do you want?
I don't know if you know, Eric, but one of the Nolan sisters died today.
Oh,
from
really?
the 80s.
Aww.
Oh, temperature. Oh, degrees.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. Oh, God. The town hall is divided, or was, right in half with a wall. When was it? Mm-hmm. This side for the good people, this side for the bad people, and the priest comes along. I don't know. Oh. No in hell. Laugh aloud. Yes, I mean, yeah, we'll have to go to the nearer one in Germany. We'll have to talk to Bobby more about that one.
Yes, and I want to go to Germany too.
Yeah. In Germany. We'll go to hell in Germany.
I want to go to the Black Forest, actually.
Apparently that's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really beautiful. I've not been myself, but I've heard from people that have been, that have come back with Black Forest carvings of bears and clocks and all sorts. But yeah. But,
what are you doing, Munchkin baby? What are you doing?
Right. Listen, guys, we've been on for about an hour. What we want to say is, if you are looking for any paranormal equipment, check out in the links, Eric's links and my links were put on the Real Gear site on Facebook, on eBay. Again, if you want something made, ooh, good thing there's no fire tartan anymore. It cracks me up.
That's cool.
Lived in Germany for 3 years at Copenhagen. Night, Sarah.
Night, Sarah.
Yeah. So if you want any paranormal equipment, check out Eric, what he can do.
Yes.
Look on eBay. If you want something commissioned, speak to Eric, because honestly, if he can make it and it works well, I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
And his prices are reasonable. They really are. They're reasonable. So check him out. I endorse Eric. I use his equipment, and it's never let me down. And I'm not one like that goes on a ghost hunt just for the sake of a ghost hunt. I've actually used it in real investigation. I can't have it on in this house, to be honest, because it would go off sporadically all the time.
Yep.
And I think that because I live here, it would freak me out a little bit, and I don't want to be too freaked out. But Rob says Eric will make the best dildos. Why not use one of those to put the equipment in?
No.
You never know.
Nope.
You could customize your yes/no boards with individual voices, Eric, like a Eric makes a bomb. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, Sarah. Before you pop off, could you just message it to me again? I do have it somewhere, but message it to me again, and I'll get that sent off to you ASAP. And what I'll do is I'll message you once I've put it in the post box and it's gone. I'll actually do it at the post office. I'll get that over to you. So all that's left to say is get your gear from Eric. Have a good week. Behave yourself. Don't take any risks if you don't need to. And just look out for one another. Eric, have you got anything you want to end with?
Try to stay warm and dry.
Yes. And stay away from any fires.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so until next week, we will see you then next Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have a guest. It was me being lazy, to be honest.
Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
We will be back. Oh, did I say? Oh, sorry. Next Wednesday. We are back then. But in the meantime, everyone take care and look out for one another.